everybody, it's Joe from Chalily, where we normally celebrate water in the garden. But now through Christmas, we're celebrating Amaryllis. And a celebration it is. We're having a party. We're calling it an Amaryllis potting party. So why don't you come join us? We have 8 dates scheduled from now until Christmas. If you follow the link to our website, you'll see all the dates that are available. Some have already sold out, so make sure you register quick. If you can't make it to one of these predestined dates, come in with a pal or two. You can have your own potting party anytime you're in the neighborhood. You just come by Chalily. We'll have all the items you need. The amaryllis bulbs, the pots, the finishing touches, and of course our special blend of soil. One of the first things you're going to do when you attend a potting party, or if you're here on your own, is pick out which variety you want of amaryllis. We have a ton of varieties, lots of color choices. That's our number one thing. What color do we want? If you want to do more than one, you can certainly do more than one. But let's do an example of using just one. This one is a red one. Red line is the most popular of all the amaryllis, and we sell hundreds and hundreds of them each season. So when we pick out a bulb, we want to make sure it's large. When we have an amaryllis bulb at Chalily, we're not having those little skimpy amaryllis bulbs that give you a tiny little flower. The bulbs at Chalily are ginormous, as big as my fist. So that generally is going to give us at least one flower spike that has 4 or 6 bulbs, but sometimes even 2, maybe even if you're really lucky, a 3rd flower spike with 4 to 6 flowers on each stalk. Anyway, so we want to choose a bulb that's nice and firm. We don't want anything mushy. We want to pick a container that is just slightly bigger than a bulb. We generally want no more than about 1 inch of soil or so all the way around the bulb. That way, if it's a little tight, that's fine. If it's a little bit bigger, 1.25 inches or so, that's fine also. We're going to pick out our favorite container. We're going to supply you the soil already. So all you're going to do is come in, put about 2 or 3 scoops of soil in, depending on the size of the container, and then press our bulb into place. What we're trying to do is make the neck of the bulb completely out of the soil and about 1 inch or so of the shoulder of the bulb to be out of the soil. So I chose the perfect amount, just perfect. Look at that, first try. Now I'm going to fill it up the rest of the way with soil. If I do it over my soil bin, anything that falls will just go back in there. So now I'm just going to gently pack down the rest of the soil because it's got to go around those shoulders of that bulb. We're not going to press too terribly hard, just enough to get it down in there. Anything extra? Just like that. I like to leave a little bit of soil, a little bit of the pot sticking up. We call that freeboard because we're going to add some finishing touches. That's really it on planting the bulb. I did start with slightly more soil, so that's a good trick. When you come to the party, we'll have the soil already pre-moistened. If you're doing this at home, you want to probably moisten that soil a little bit. So I have my container. The next thing you're going to do is decide how do we want to finish it off. A lot of folks like to put a little moss on there. That certainly is a nice standard look. We could come back with some scissors even and trim that up if we chose. If we decide we want to add a few other finishing touches on there, I do love this bird. I'm going to add this little bird to the side. Maybe if you don't want the bird, you want some lotus stalks in there. You know, Chalily, we have lots of lotus seed pods, and we could pin that into there. That's going to look nice. Maybe that one's a little big. We want something a little smaller, something more natural looking. We can use that. Maybe we even want some of this dried coxcomb that was growing here at Chalily during the summer. That's a nice warm winter color. Maybe we don't choose that. We're going to go festive. So we're going to put some Christmas ornaments in there. How about that? I'm going to throw in a few photos of some finishing touches examples that I've come up with. But I want you to come to Chalily and add your flair and your finishing touches to the Amaryllis potting party. So join us soon. Okay, once your creation is done and we've boxed it up for you, you're heading home. When you arrive home, if you remember, we pre-moistened the soil, but we haven't yet watered it in. We're wanting you to do that at home. So take it over to the sink. Be aware if you chose a container that has a hole, we can water it thoroughly. The excess water will drain into the sink. We'll let it sit there an hour or two. If we chose a container that doesn't have a hole, then we don't want a soupy mess, so just water it in enough that the soil is going to absorb that. Now, going to place this container once it's drained in a sunny, bright window. Room temperature is perfect. We want to water sparingly, meaning we want the soil to dry out between waterings. Too much water is not a good thing, so we just want to water it as if it's a houseplant. And watch out, soon enough, that bloom is coming. I thank you for watching. Check us out at chalily.com, Facebook, or Instagram.